Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with a brand new video, but it doesn't feel like a brand new video. It feels like I'm just revisiting Wednesday night's upload where I actually started that video off just being utterly confused about our lack of game management at the end of that game, and I'm sitting here saying the exact same thing, ladies and gentlemen, except it's actually worse because the only other trophy that's left to play for and win this season after we wrapped up the league in record pace is now officially out of our reach. And you know, son, I could have saw Wednesday coming when I seen the team line up and the 7 changes and everything like that, but I seen our best team, or one of our best team besides obviously the injury to Jacko and Arfield, but again, that's not even an excuse. I'm just saying the best that was available was out there. But it didn't look it, ladies and gentlemen. St Johnstone came with the same aggressive full pitch press. And before I go too far in today's video, again, like I said for the preview video on Tuesday night, I have been so damn impressed and I've been so wrong about St Johnstone under Callum Davidson, because what he has built in that team is an animal that just continues to work their arse off from the first whistle to the last, and they will run for him, they will tackle for him, and they will give absolutely everything for them. And we got it again, despite it just being a couple days after we saw it in the league. I thought that would play its part and they'd run out of puff and we'd be able to take them to task, especially the later the game went on. But you've got to say it, ladies and gentlemen, the longer that game went in, even into extra time, it looked like they were the ones that made 7 changes and looked the fresher. No, us. So, full credit to St Johnstone before I go too much. I didn't want to be saying that. It doesn't feel nice to be saying that. But, again, you can smile and have fun when you're winning. But when you lose, you've got to just sometimes hold your hands up and say, we're lost. And St Johnstone the night gave absolutely everything. And you talk about an individual performance. You talk about a guy having moments in a game. That's probably the most inspired performance that I've seen now, and honestly my mind's pickled. I don't know when the last time I saw a performance of that versus Rangers, maybe Fraser Foster in the cup final, I think it was last year, when he was just playing out of his skin. I think Zander Clarke's actually topped that individual performance for me, because not only did he make incredible save, he's fucking scored in the last second and saved 2 penalties in the shootout. That's just one of the most inspired performances I've ever seen. Again, all things I didn't want to be saying, ladies and gentlemen, but I have to, and I would love to be able to sit here and say about my team, but I genuinely can't. It was the same type of performance now that we've came to expect from this Rangers team since we wrapped up the league. What was it, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago? Whenever it was, ladies and gentlemen, with that phenomenal 3-0 performance over St Mirren with the celebrations, and then obviously the next again day Celtic not being able to beat Dundee United. There was a change in the team, and I just think that intensity level was just chipped away from the squad. Maybe the chip on the shoulder because they felt they had done what they needed to do this season, but that wasn't the case, ladies and gentlemen. That wasn't what we were told from Steven Gerrard. That wasn't what we've been told for the players. This cup was the priority. We were told that on Wednesday night, but again, looking at the overall performance and how not only like the quality and the bond and everything that, but just the way we went about it, it didn't look like it was a priority. It was kind of the same half intensity we've been seeing now again for the last couple of months. Now listen, I know there's people out there already tweeting me and already sending me messages saying, CJ, the main objective of this season was already won, because the only thing that mattered going into this season was either 10 in a row or 50 frickin' 5, and we go the main objective. And again, absolutely, and I've loved what we've done in the league, but despite us winning 55, I don't think that means we can't sit here and be disappointed that we didn't see this Rangers team play to the level that we know we can, especially when there was another trophy, another carrot dangled in front of this team to get us out of that funk and go and get it. And I think we're well within our right to be disappointed from what we saw again from this Rangers team for the 120 minutes, and then obviously the penalty kick. But disappointment is the word, ladies and gentlemen, and I think that perfectly transitions us into the old game recap, where that kind of summarises the game, because I said in the conversation, it wasn't really a preview because I already gave St Johnstone props and everything on Tuesday night talking about how good of a side they were. It was more of a conversation on the 2 different managerial approaches that we saw a couple days ago from Callum Davidson going and showing you how he's going to play with his first team, with us going to make the changes. Well, with us now undoing those changes, I thought from the first whistle we would assert ourselves in this game, but from the first whistle I went, what's going on here? But again, full credit to St Johnstone for making it as difficult as they did, and they had a couple of wee nearly moments. No, I wouldn't say like clear-cut opportunities, but they were putting pressure on. They were winning corner kicks, but that does leave us to the 9th minute in this game where we give up another clear-cut opportunity to take the lead in this game, and it's these chances that's really going to hurt the mayor we actually talking about, because this here is just magic from Ryan Kent. It really, really is. He's got two men on him. He beats one. He grabs the other one, skins the next one that tries to take him out. He then runs the length of the park, slides in Glenn Kamara, who has a shot on goal, or he can pass it to the Rangers players to tap it in. He tries a shot, and that's the first of many saves, unfortunately, by Zander Clarke again in that one-of-a-kind career performance. So that was the first major opportunity for Rangers in this game, but the next chance actually went to St Johnstone, where just a couple of minutes later they whip in a corner where again we make such a silly mistake from a set piece where we switch off and we just leave Tanser completely on his own, kind of just outside the box, and to be fair to him, he catches the volley sweetly. It's kind of straight at McGregor. I'm expecting him to save that away, but again, that's a guy free and a set piece. We never see that for Rangers, but over the last two games versus the Johnstone, we've seen it now. What feels like almost double digits. And unfortunately, it isn't the only time we leave someone completely open, but again, we'll break that down very shortly. Now, the rest of the first half until the major opportunity, and again, another clear-cut chance for Rangers, fell was maybe what some would claim or say is a boring game where Rangers were just trying to pass it from left to right, finding a space, and St Johnstone again were just working hard and making it difficult. And again, fair play on them. That's what they have to do in these types of games. They're not going to come here and pass Rangers off the park. It's on the Rangers players to step up with quality and make things happen, and then eventually beat the goalkeeper. So the game kind of petered out a little bit where it was both teams just trying to break each other, them on the counter, us just trying to penetrate the space. But it takes us all the way just before half-time where we win a corner kick, we flick it on, Connor goes to me and we nod down to the back post where Alfredo Morelos is there, but he swipes at his volley and it goes a mile out of the bar. Honestly, Double Z had a lot of balls the other night, a lot of overhit crosses from Barisic, and that volley was nestled up at Double Z, just chilling, watching this game unfold. But before we wrap up the first half and move on to the second, there was obviously one other major incident, and I do talk about this whether we win or lose, but again, the referee has an absolute howler here, as Witherspoon, I believe it is, should be red carded for St Johnstone. Anyone who actually saw the game knows the incident I'm talking about. He dives recklessly off the ground, his feet's knee high, studs are up. Thankfully, Hadji is able to just move it, but again, weirdly the commentator says because Hadji does well to avoid that, he actually keeps Witherspoon on, because if he gets that challenge and it's as serious as it looks and it's as hard as it looks, the man will be sent off. But to me, that's backwards. Just because a player's able to move it so he doesn't get his leg broken, shouldn't he nullify what the challenge actually was? A red card, clear as day, ladies and gentlemen. Witherspoon should have been sent off, but that is how we wrap up the first half. Now, going into the second half, I think any football fan was expecting to see more for Rangers. We were at home, we were expected to go out there and just be more direct and just ask some more questions. And to be fair, Rangers did, as they did come out with more purpose. But again, we shouldn't be waiting to second half all the time to actually ask some questions. Why do we not start fast anymore? The questions has to be asked why the teams are starting so slow and lethargic. But anyway, after a couple near misses, again with a couple of corners that just didn't go anywhere, we do have a brilliant moment where the ball gets passed down to James Tavernier. He whips in a cross in the 61st minute. Alfredo Morelos meets the ball and his header kisses the inside of the post, goes back out and clutches in the arms of Zander Clarke. And that there probably was going to tell us, maybe was a warning sign that today wasn't going to be your day, ladies and gentlemen, because the fact that that hits that and then goes away and hits Zander Clarke just in the chest like that, it's just a sign if there ever was going to be one. Now, the next major talking point in the game actually came in the 80th minute, where once again Ryan Kent was heavily involved in everything positive for Rangers. I mean, after he just made a bursting run to get forward, he then does it again on the right hand side where he beats not two, but three men, goes to the line, floats the ball beautifully to the back post for Alfredo Morelos. He's got nobody on him, he's just got the goal here, he needs to burst the net with this header, but somehow, some way, Zander Clarke is there again to deny Rangers with a phenomenal save. It's a save that, yes, it is world class for Zander Clarke, and again that summarises his performance. But I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just looking back, I'm thinking of that chance, and I'm saying, Morelos, if he hits it anywhere else, he's scored. He's put it across, given Zander a chance, and Zander again has made an incredible save. But that was in the 80th minute. But then St Johnstone actually had another moment in the game. Again, they were having spells where they looked dangerous and were getting the balls, but they never had that big holy shit moment. But the big holy shit moment just came a couple of minutes later after Michael O'Halloran was now in, and he just shoves Hollander in the back. It's a clear foul. I mean, Stevie May was getting them all game, but the referee plays on here, and Michael O'Halloran ends up getting a shot fantastically defended by Barisic. No, something I've been saying very often. And then from the resultant rebound of the shot, it's another easy save for McGregor. But that was showing you their threat they still possess with the flick on from Kane and Michael O'Halloran's pace in behind. Yes, it was a clear foul on Hollander, but you know what the referee was all about. I mean, Ali McCann pulled down Joe Rebo shorts, no yellow card, and then 2 seconds later he does get a yellow card for a shocking slide challenge. It was just one of those games for the Scottish referees, but that's what we've came to expect. I mean, it's only conspiracies and everything like that online when it's actually the other team against Rangers, but when it's actually happening to Rangers, it's that's what you deserve. And that's how backwaters this country is. But again, Rangers responded, and again they had another chance, and again it was another fantastic save. Now, Kamal Roof did come on after Morelos missed that chance. He was withdrawn. Now, Roof and Scott Wright here combine absolutely beautifully. I mean, Scott Wright really looked like it was, at least he was willing to try something. He wasn't just wanting to turn around, pass it, and wait for someone else to say something. He was trying to run at people, and the combination play here is absolutely gorgeous, and it deserved a goal. But again, Zander Clarke, brilliant save, clears it away after Scott Wright and Kamal Roof carve the St Johnstone defence open, and Scotty Wright has a shot inside the box. But we all know the game goes into extra time, so moving away from the 90 minutes, there was another fantastic save just 4 minutes in to the extra time from Zander Clarke again as Tavernier whips in a corner. I think he shoots this, if I'm honest. Brilliant reaction for the big man. But then St Johnstone showed their threat in the game as again still nipping away, and Ali McCann had a phenomenal performance. Yes, he probably should have had 2 yellows in the game, but you just play if you're playing, and for God's sake, man, he ran his absolute heart and soul there, and he was just pulling strings in the middle. He was fantastic in this game, and again, he's heavily involved in this move that actually ends up with a flick on from Kane that puts Michael O'Halloran through on goal. And then we have a McGregor moment, and you're sitting back thinking, right, finally we have an incredible goalkeeping moment. Now go out there and win the game, Rangers. And we nearly did, ladies and gentlemen, in the second half of extra time, where Joe Aribo does wonderful work here after Ryan Kent's heavily involved. It's a brilliant wee cross, and Tavernier does what our striker should have been doing, and that's heading the ball into the back of net, and that should have been the storybook moment. There, Tavernier back from the injury. We know he's not fully fit, we know he's no match sharp, but he played the entire game, and he should have scored the goal deep into extra time that put us into the semi-final. That should have been the story, but once again, we do not see the games out, and this has came back to haunt us a couple of times, like obviously versus Benfica, it's came back a couple of times, and just a couple of days ago versus St Johnstone, where we're fanning about with the ball, we're not smart enough, we didn't kill the game out. Yes, we did eventually go into the corner, but why are we still trying to attack with 90 seconds to go? No, just pass about. We were alright passing the ball about left to right for 5 minutes at a time when it was 0-0. Why no? When it's 1-0, why do we just start launching it and start trying to go for the jugular? But anyway, eventually goes to Roof, who, yes, I'll admit, is fouled here, and it should be a free kick to Rangers in the corner, but the referee wasn't given nothing all day, and that's just the way he was playing it. That's not me being bitter. It's a foul for Kamal Roof. He just didn't give it. But again, it is a long ball. We didn't deal with a long ball. It's a cheap corner that we end up giving away twice. And then what I cannot believe, right, and I honestly, it just summarises, when you talk about an individual performance and being inspired and getting a career performance, this is the backing up here, that there's sometimes nothing you can do, because the guy who stands at 6'3" in a luminous green jogs up with the last touch of the football 5 yards out. 5 yards out, ladies and gentlemen, and no one goes near him. Yes, I've seen some people saying, oh, Kamal Roof should have been on him, but genuinely, I didn't ken who should have been on, because no one is on him, and it literally just close. It was almost like a target practice. The boys in a luminous green going like that. To me, there's no one here, and I'll head it in. Now, I think after the corner gets whipped in, and I think he hits, I think Chris, or whatever his name is, Kane, does score the goal, but surely you're giving that to Clarke, because his performance deserved it. And not only did his performance deserve that goal at that point, he went on and done what he'd done in the penalty shootout, which again was fully deserved. And again, I'm not going to take anything away from Zander, Clarke or St Johnstone. They done what they done in the game, but management for Rangers, game management, seeing the game out, just saying, you know what, I might have my man here, but there's a guy standing 6'3" in a luminous green. Maybe I should close him down instead of standing at the edge of the box where the ball maybe break down. Maybe I'll just take the initiative and just walk and stand where the big boy is. That was probably an indicator that the penalty shootout wasn't going our way, because he was already bouncing. I mean, you see him smiling, you see him dancing. He's just scored a goal in the last second. Of course he's going to have a bounce in his step in the set piece, and his first one is a good save from Tavernier, who tries to put it down the middle, and his last save is to Kamal Roof on the bot. I think he dives to the left. It's a very, very good save for Zander, Clarke. And to be fair, you look at St Johnstone's penalties, every single one of them was buried. I mean, Kerr, the big centre-back, buried it top bin. They didn't look nervous, they didn't look scared. They walked up there with nothing to lose and everything to gain. And that is how the game went, ladies and gentlemen. We lost everything going into that game. They gained everything, and that's the game recap there, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very disappointed with how Rangers overall played in the game. Yes, I understand the way the season went. We won the biggest and the main important thing, but I want to win everything that I can possibly win, and that's what it is to be a Rangers fan. That's what I've always been since a wee lad, and I'll always be. I know I'm going grey here, ladies and gentlemen, but until I'm going grey here and here, it's always going to be the same. That trophy was, I'm not going to say one hand on the trophy or anything like that, because I think that's disrespectful. I'll try and be, even though I try my jokes and my jabs and that. The Scottish game isn't a tin pot league or a farmers league like a lot of people make it out to be. You need to still go out there and earn the right to say you've went ahead and lifted this trophy. St Johnston's done it before this season. We've obviously done it in the league, but when the two of them matched off, it was St Johnstone who was willing to give just that little bit extra. They were willing to throw themselves in the ground, winning the fouls, breaking up play. They were the ones that was willing to use maybe the shithousery of the game to play it into their advantage, and we were just maybe too naive, too honest, taking wee silly short free kicks all the time, no killing any of the clock, no taking a while to do this. We just didn't do the dirty side of the game well. This is a great Rangers team. It's a ruthless winning Rangers team in league football, but in these knockout competitions, with these one and done games, you need to be willing to embrace the dirty side. We just never, ladies and gentlemen, and we ended up going out of penalties, which again is always a bit of a lottery, but full credit to St Johnstone. But I'm not going to do an overall man of the match and give it to a Rangers player. Ryan Kent was probably the best individual performance from us, but we all know who the man of the match was. But that's it. The cup journey ends right there. We have won 1 out of 3. Bitterly, bitterly disappointed that we couldn't go ahead and take another step, especially at home. But that's the season over now, ladies and gentlemen. I know people say, aye, but we've still got the undefeated season. I couldn't care less. I'd much rather lost in the league at some point and went ahead and won a cup double, but that's just me. And that's the end of today's video. If you want to talk about the game, make sure to be sharing your opinions down there in the comment section below. And I'm sure I'll be speaking to you very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen. But to everyone watching, thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and bye.